What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Geek Out Room podcast. Don't forget you can head over to Spotify and Apple Podcasts to watch our episodes. Also, tune in to the Sauces Entertainment or Geek Out Room YouTube channels to tune in to our podcast episodes. So, today we're talking about news that is about 24 hours old, but yesterday was a bunch of World Cup games, work, X-Men 97, Season 2, a lot of stuff. So, I decided to bring it over to today. But nonetheless, we're going to talk about it. Let's get into this. Sony has officially given physical media an expiration date, and that is January 2028. Now, maybe it's not January 2028, but it's definitely 2028. I'm going to assume it will be January 2028. And it's really sad. It's really sad to see that this is the day I've been dreading for a long time. A lot of people like me who love physical media has been dreading for a long time. And I feel really defeated by this because I do understand. I understand physical media or understand digital media, sorry. I understand digital media and it has its place in the world, right? There are a lot of people who are disabled and have these disabilities that make it hard, near impossible to go out all the time to buy the new releases and buy groceries and things like that. So I understand the benefits of apps and digitalizing services, right? And digitalizing video games where you can just get it from your console from your home. I understand those things, right? But at the same time, and obviously convenience, but at the same time, not owning what you purchase has always rubbed the wrong way to me. I know in this economy for the last probably 10 years really. Plus, if you really want to get to the nitty-gritty of it, we have been used to not owning our stuff anymore. We've been used to not owning our homes. We've been used to not owning our video games. We've been used to not owning our music with streaming music these days now, right? We've been used to not owning the movies that we get. I don't know if I already said it, but movies we get like from purchasing and video on demand and stuff like that on the rise, and of course through consoles and marketplaces, right? But video games to me was the last hope because there are collectors. There's legitimate collectors of physical video games. And not only that, it's just really dope to just slide the disc in to your disc drive, hear it turning, playing your game, right? And I'm not talking about how it's been since like halfway through the PS4 where it's basically a download code on your disc. I mean when you had a disc, the PS2 days where you legitimately had all the stuff you needed on your disc to the point where people to this day who have the ability to play PS2 right games can do so still. That won't be the same as like, hey, you have a PS3. Let's say that was digital. Well, now they're turning down the service. It's gone, right? And it's really sad. And the PS6 now on like very certainly is going to be a digital only console. Xbox slash Microsoft has also said that their future console will also be digital only and they're all going away from the physical media space. And again, digital purchases for video games account for at least 70% of video game purchases. So understand from the analytical standpoint of where Sony is coming from, right? But at the same time, this idea and pushing this idea that you don't deserve to own anything you purchase is BS. It's wrong and it destroys what makes the gaming community special. What makes gaming part of what makes gaming special for gamers around the world is owning these video games. It's passing these games down to your little cousins, your children, your siblings, right? I have older siblings. If it wasn't for my older siblings, I would never have gotten passed down Mario 64. I would have never got passed down GTA San Andreas. So many different games that I've played and that are a huge part of my childhood or my upbringing when it comes to the gaming side or gaming aspect of my life is from these games getting passed down from my older siblings and that I can pass down to my kids and they can pass down to their kids, right? And that's the beauty of video game. That's the beauty of physical media, of physical items that you own 100% after you purchase them is that you can do what you want with them and you can pass them down. And that is more common than you think. Maybe not in this age where everything's digitalized and you have your digital libraries, everything is so individualistic instead of a community focused endeavor, and that really sucks. It really sucks to see how we've given into this, to the individual of everything instead of the love and respect of community, and that's what makes things fun. That's what makes gaming fun, is the community aspect of all this stuff. That's why the idea of live service games has skyrocketed, because of the idea of community, right? Of memes, sharing clips, sharing moments, right? And it just sucks to see it morph into profit driven. Not just corporations, but also streamers and content creators and influencers. They also profit, not from digital media per se, but just from video games in general. So they don't really give a shit. They're like, hey man, like whether it's physical or digital, I do not care. I this is why I do my games, which is fine. I'm not blaming streamers or content creators for the downfall of physical media or for the downfall of lack of ownership in your video games. But I'm just saying that the lack of care, the empathy, it's all gone because people just see dollar signs. People just see dollar signs. And I mean, with digital only, it's not like you can transfer the discs that you do have to your PS6 so you can do backwards. You have to buy all these games again. You know what I mean? And also, not to mention, with the end of physical video games, that means the production of disk drives, the production of separate disk drives, but also like consoles with disk drives, the PS5, it will all cease. They'll cease doing those and just do digital only consoles moving forward. And I mean, you can't transfer this to digital. You can't share games anymore. You can't pass on games again, like I said, to like younger generations. It's all dead. Again, things that people are missing, things that I feel like a lot of, like I've seen a couple videos on this, like what creators are missing, what Sony's missing. Sony's a corporation, they don't really care. They see profits and they're a company for profit, so I understand. I'm going to put them out of the equation for a second. What people online are forgetting, and maybe they didn't experience this as, maybe they had all the money in the world, so they didn't experience this as kids or growing up, so maybe they don't care, or maybe they forgot where they came from. Who knows? Not everyone can afford video games, whether it was back then or especially now and in the future, right? Not everyone can afford these things, and not that you need video games to survive, but the idea that you have to, that you can't enjoy entertainment because you don't have as much money as others is ridiculous. The fact that it's okay to price people out, and your answer to that is just work harder, kill yourself so you can enjoy a couple minutes of gaming, is a ridiculous notion. Is a ridiculous notion. My parents were immigrants into this country, worked really, really, really hard, like a story that like many others in this country, is the United States. Okay, is a very common story. And every Christmas, we couldn't afford video games all the time. Sometimes, obviously they would be like, hey, we can afford this, here, here, here. But the priority was food, it was shelter, it was stuff for school, stuff like that. Great, loved it, not even complaining. Christmas time though, because my mom is special. My parents are huge Christmas people. They love Christmas. So Christmas is all out. It's, hey, we Black Friday sales. Hey, there's these bargain bins where these games that came out early in the year, now they're a couple of dollars off. They're like 10, instead of $25 or $10, instead of $30, they're $25. Whatever the case may be. A little bit more affordable. We get our bonus checks, or we get checks we saved up through the year, or whatever. Let's buy it so that Christmas time comes, we have presents for the kids, meaning me and my brother, me and my siblings, and we're able to, me and my brother are the gamers in the family, and we're able to play games. And we got some games. And my dad also, at one point, this is a store that doesn't exist anymore, but it used to be a store, pretty much Best Buy. It was called Circuit City, and that's where my dad used to work, and that's how I got my first ever PS2. Because obviously discounts and stuff like that, as an employee, and he was a supervisor. I forgot where I don't know if he ever became like store manager, but he was definitely a high ranking supervisor at the store, and that's how I got my first PS2. That's how I got my first GameCube. Yeah, my first GameCube. No, my first GameCube, I think he was working at Intel or something. But he was during Circuit City. It was definitely the time I got my PS2. And yeah, no, it was the PS2. It was because I was in Jersey at the time. So he bought me my first PS2. He bought me my first GameCube, and bought my brother his first Xbox, the original Xbox came out. And that's how we got our games, our consoles, because we got on discount because he happened to work for obviously a big box retailer. And I say all that to say that gaming means so much to me. It means so much to other people. It's this common story. And with this lack, and we owned all those things. We still have those consoles, still have the controllers. Like we own these things. We own the games that came with them. And the fact that we're moving away from that is really unfortunate. It's really scary. It really sucks. And the whole point really for at least for Sony and these gaming companies for not making the digital version of the games cheaper than the physical copy of these games was because they didn't want to screw over their retail partnerships. They didn't want to screw over Walmart, Target, Best Buy, Circuit City, FYE Electronics, you name it, whatever store doesn't exist, or Toys R Us, whatever store doesn't exist, Kmart, all these stores. They didn't want to screw these stores over. So they're like, hey, obviously digital gaming wasn't a thing during Kmart and stuff like that. But you understand what I mean? Like this, if it did exist during that time, how it is now, it would still be the same reasoning, is what I'm trying to say. It would be, hey, we don't want to screw them over. Could we make it cheaper digitally? Why would they go to these big box retailers and buy it physically? Okay, well, now you're eliminating that completely. You're eliminating video games from stores physically forever, right? In 2 years. So what is the point now? What is now what? What is your reasoning for making a game full price digitally to 80, 90, 100, 100 plus dollars? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Also, again, making games affordable. Physical games, and this is really important, physical games made gaming affordable. What do I mean by that? You can go to a GameStop, you can go to a Walmart, you can go to a Target or whatever and find games discounted because they're a couple years old and they want them out of the store and they're cheaper because a sequel has already came out or the next generation console or whatever came out. There's like many reasons why physical games um not depreciate in value per se, but like get cheaper and more affordable for people to go get. Some games, not everyone has the money to buy the game right then and there. Sometimes people buy games a couple of years later and play them. And that's the beauty of physical media. They just exist and you can go buy it, pick it up, put in your disk drive and play it. Digitally, there's no incentive to have the game cost less over time. There is no incentive. The incentive now, right now, you may be saying, well, it is cheaper. The incentive to make it cheaper right now digitally is because there is a physical copy or plenty of physical copies floating out there that are like $20, $30 cheaper than the original full price. So why would people buy it in your digital library when they can go get it physically for $10 instead of the full 60, $70? That's the incentive right now. 2028, when things are fully digital, that incentive is gone. And none of these companies have done a single thing to benefit the gaming community or people at large at all to even think or to even believe that they would somehow try to find a way to emulate the benefits of physical media through digitally their marketplace. Because guess what? If it's not, it may not be cheaper at Target, but Walmart or GameStop's running a deal, buy two get one or whatever. Cool. I've never seen a buy two get one digital copies. I've never seen it. I could be wrong. I've never seen it. I've never seen that before. All right. You affordability means so much to gamers. There's so many ways to get physical media cheaper. And that was a huge reason or a huge way that people could afford their games. is through physical media, is through these bargain bins, is through these buy two get one, these buy one get one 50% off. All these things don't exist for digital goods because what is the incentive for doing so? Also, you will not be able to get your video game anywhere else besides the Sony marketplace. Does that not seem like monopoly to you? You can't buy a digital copy. Let's just say Rockstar's like, hey, Bully 2 is coming out in 2029. Where are you going to get that? You have to go to a marketplace. You have to go to if you have a PlayStation, you can only buy it in the Sony marketplace. If you have an Xbox, it comes out, it releases on Xbox as well. You can only buy it on Xbox Marketplace. You can't go to any other place that may have a better deal or anything, or you can't use reward points. There's no reward point system anymore to also have coupons to make games cheaper. You're just at the beck and call of these corporations, and they have zero incentive, zero reason, because they're for profit, to make games more affordable for anybody, for any reason, at any time. Black Friday's already sucked the last couple of years, but that shit's gone. Say goodbye to that. Say goodbye to that. It's over, man. It's over. Like, y'all really want a Christmas, man, where you don't have you y'all want a Christmas that you can't box up, you can't wrap up a video game for your loved one. Bro, that's crazy. That's the kind of world and society y'all want to live in. Y'all want to live in a Christmas where every gift is digitalized. That's crazy to me. That's insane to me. Because even at my age of 30 something, all my siblings are all 30 plus. There's nothing like going Christmas shopping for my loved ones because I had a good year. I had a good financial year, so I'm able to go get some gifts for my loved ones, friends, family, etc. And I'm able to go buy a couple of physical games and wrap them up and put them under the tree. Do it for my little cousins, do it for the niece and nephews. There's nothing like that because the joy of them opening that stuff up gives me everything I need. Because that's the type of person I am, and I'm at the age where I love giving gifts to my people, bro. I love it. I freaking love it. Like for my dad's birthday recently, we got him a coffee maker because his old one broke, and he was jumping for joy. 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe now at this point, um, we got my dad for his birthday. He loves ping pong, so we bought him. Me and my brother bought him a ping pong table. Like I get it. Not everyone's loves physical gifts, whatever, but the joy for people who do, many people do, the joy to see them unwrap something, and their eyes light up and they show that gratitude and appreciation. There's nothing like it. And to take it from gaming is very dangerous and is very ugly because we already have issues with memory and space, right? We have RAM at ungodly price. I have an 8 terabyte Seagate SSD. All right, that I bought on Black Friday, and now it's quadruple the price. It's quadruple. You could even imagine an 8 terabyte anything right now. You're cooked. And so we have all these memory issues, but you're telling me, and these games are so big in memory. We have to delete all this space and do all these things. And you're telling me you want now everything fully digitalized where we already don't have enough memory. Unless the PS6 is about to be a 10 terabyte hard drive console for under $1,000, I don't see what we're doing here. Because again, even with the disc in the PS5, again, these are basically download codes on a disc. So it's the same issue. That's why I like the idea of disc. I don't care if you have to give me games with 3 discs in them. Run it. Because if that means I can own these discs, and that means I can just pop them in and play them whenever I want, Wi-Fi or not, Sony getting hacked or not. Remember those times that Sony just gets hacked and their system's just down? You can't do nothing. They can't even protect their servers. They can't protect our information. They can't protect their information, their emails, nothing. They can't protect anything. But they want to fully digitize and have full control and mastery over all our information and all our hard-earned items that we paid for. But and just for anyone to get hacked and take it away. And again, this is a theory. This isn't a what if. This is a when. Sony gets hacked every couple years. They do. This is not new news. It didn't happen just once. This is something that happens to Sony. I just don't understand. They have not done anything to provide goodwill. It's just people who are okay with getting bent over and not owning a single item, and they don't care. And that's fine. Do what you gotta do. And it may be a losing battle. And some of y'all, again, really forgot where you came from and how hard your parents worked for anything you have. I don't care how much money you're making now. The sacrifices that the people before you made so that you can sit here comfortable in your chair with your 4K camera setup and sit here and dare tell people that they're broke because they don't want to pay $100 for GTA 6, you are garbage. You are honestly a garbage human being. You're a garbage human being that either doesn't give a shit about what your parents had to do to afford your entertainment as a kid, or you took it completely for granted and you don't care about the person behind you. And that's the case now. Again, individualism. People do not care. They have zero empathy and they have a short-term memory. But let you get screwed over. Let you get screwed over by something. Then it's woe is me. Then it's, hey, why does no one care? They don't care because you set the example of lack of care and empathy for others. And that's the kind of fan base you developed and you want. And now they're just repeating that behavior back to you. They're a mirror of who you are. That's what this is. And it really sucks. It really sucks that we have people who have platforms and voices who do not care about the little guy, who do not care about people who work really, really, really hard and just want a couple of minutes a day or a week of escape. And I understand about forgetting things when you're a kid and forgetting how hard your parents work sometimes. It just happens. But to completely abandon that, to completely give in to companies constantly playing in your face like you're a dumbass, couldn't be me. And it sucks. It sucks to see people who don't want to speak up because they don't want to ruin some future potential partnership or some care boxes, some PR care boxes for GTA 6 or something. I don't know, man. It's disgusting. It's disgusting to see people's morality fly out the window for a couple bucks, for a gift, for a gift box that you may not even get. And that, by the way, you're flexing that you can afford is chump change for you. But you're over here bending over backwards for a free game or a free console. That yells broke to me. And not just monetary broke, values broken. But hey, some of you can sleep with yourselves that way. So like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts on physical media versus digital media and the end of physical media. I also did a feature film documentary about why physical media deserves its place in this digital era. That's out on my YouTube channel, Sauces Entertainment. Tune into that. I'll put a link to that in the bio. Please check that movie out. I think I'll re-release it as well, so it's fresh on the page as well. So go ahead and tap into that film because I think it's really, really relevant. We interviewed a couple of local business owners, people who love video games, and we really tapped into why it still has its place here in this world. And I hope you tune into that and enjoy it. It's about 58 minutes. It's my first ever directorial debut as a feature. We debuted it at a movie theater. It was great. It was a great time. So like, comment, subscribe, and share. See you on the next one. Keep geeking out.